Today, Apple updated Keynote along with Pages and Numbers. Keynote now comes to 10.2, and the big news for iMovie and for Final Cut users is that you're now able to create items in Keynote and export those items for Final Cut and for iMovie in a much more compressed format, which means it's going to be a much smaller file size than the original ProRes 444 in the previous version of Keynote. So this is a really short video just to show you that difference. I'll also remind you how to make a transparent background in Keynote. So let's look at Keynote here. What I've done is I've provided a file here with a video in the file, and we've added some text here, and this text here, the preview of the text just shows it with a shimmer on it. Now this is something that's not available in Final Cut or iMovie, so it's just that one little bit of a different thing for you to use. So what we need to be sure we're doing here is when we're in Keynote, we need to select our document and select Format. So just to remind you how to make a transparent background in Keynote, you need to be on the Format, you need to select No Fill as your background. And so now we can go on and export this, and we need to export it as a movie, and we need to select Custom, select your size there. Now you can change your rates, your frame rates, and you can also change the format. And originally we were required to do ProRes 444, so we'll do that again for a comparison, and make sure export with transparent background is turned on, and then say next to that. Now that one's saved, we can come back to the file and export again, and this time we'll export as an HEVC file, and we'll stick with the 30 frames, the 1920, and change this to HEVC and export it with a transparent background and say next to that. Now that's saved, we can go into iMovie and to Final Cut and have a look at the files. So we can bring the ProRes file in, bring it on top, and you see the videos playing, and then towards the end here you'll see the shimmer and the text showing. We can do the same thing with the HEVC file, pop that in the timeline, and you can see that's also transparent. And there is the text with the shimmer effect on it. So next what we'll do is that we'll go into iMovie and we'll do the same thing with iMovie and see how that handles it. And we'll bring the two files in. Here is the 444 file, you can see it there, and that's playing. And there's the text showing there. We'll now bring in the HEVC file, and the video is playing from Keynote, and then the text comes in here with the shimmer effect. And so it's worked both in iMovie and in Final Cut, and that's just a short video to show the new features for the HEVC option in Keynote. And finally, let's compare these two files in size in the Finder. You can see that the HEVC file is 19.1 megabytes, but the ProRes file is a whopping 1.09 gigabytes, so there's a significant file size between the two formats. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and press the bell. There are new videos every Sunday.